Okay, now I'm going to show you a personal property only file. So this one here is, they only have personal property. So you can see the second page, it only has personal property listed, no real property listed. So I'm going to show you the difference. So let's go through the whole thing, just practice. So the estate, the decedent is Ida de Florian, and her date, her thing was filed was April, I think that's 16th. Don't go crazy over that. It's not a big deal if we get a couple days off. So let's put 4/16. If it's any time in 2013, you can just put, you know, like 4/16, and it'll enter automatically the year. So Ida de Florian, her personal representative is in number 2 because this is the normal filing. So his name is Roy H. Neerman. He is an executor, so just put an E for that. Actually, you type it out, and as you get going, you're just going to see, if I do it down here, as soon as I push E, it'll write the whole thing out, so don't worry about that. He is asking for full authority in box C, so we'll put an F there. His relationship we don't know yet, so we're going to have to leave that blank for a minute. We don't know his address either, or whether he's out of state. His attorney is J. David Horspool. And his phone number is here, 909-792. $9660, and his email, david@lawyershp.com. Lawyer, okay. Always double check yourself, because you know some of the stuff's pretty small, and we just have to have the right information here. Okay, decedent died on. So date of death is March 26, 2013. This is the same thing. If it's in 2013, you can just write March 26, 326, and it'll add the 2013 because we formatted that way. If it's another year, you can just write 5/6/11, and it'll make it 2011, for example. Okay, so with or without bond, we see that box 1 is checked in part D, so bond not required, so we put without. The decedent's property address is this one down here in 3B, 10 Terracina, but this one doesn't matter so much because we know that they have no personal property. I mean, no real property. So it's good to put it down just so we have it. Somebody else may live there that we may not want to contact, but it's not going to matter as much. Yeah, I'll show you in a second. Okay, so let's go to the next page. And we see they have no real property right here. So in this column, in column L, we're going to put a P, just a P, and we're going to highlight that in yellow so we know that's going to go in a different place. We don't know if they have any trusts yet. We're going to have to look on another page. It looks like they had a will filed, but we'll see if we copied it. And you'll see this formula um, it automatically puts personal property only, so it doesn't look for an address. So usually we should get a 0 here. If there's a 1 here, we have to look at what's going on. But I'll finish this one up and then we'll look at that. So $600,000 we know she has in personal property, and then we'll just put 0 for everything else, and our total is 600,000. So that's all you do for the main database part. Oh no, we need the PR relationship and address. So Roy H. Neerman, he's a friend and he's over 18. So we only want the adults. We don't want to write to minors, and we don't want to write to businesses or charities. Some people leave stuff to their church. We don't really want to write to them, so you can leave them off of the heirs list. So 1887 Business Center Drive. Number 1B. In San Bernardino, California, 92408. So he's not out of state. We don't have his email or phone number. I don't see any trust names, so we'll just leave that blank, or we'll put it a no. He has no property, so we're not going to be putting anything in the real list information, and there's no comments that we've had so far. So we're going to copy the decedent's name and the personal representative's name, and we're going to go into the personal property only mail list. We're going to copy those two in here. We're going to split out Roy's name, and we're going to go back and get his address. And we're going to break that out. Just get rid of the comma. He's a friend, we know. Name of any trusts. And it's important, if you can, with the personal property list only people, you want to know if they do have a trust, because that's a good thing to look in property records to see if maybe they actually do have property owned in the trust name. We would look up the trust name to try to find out if they actually do have any real property. But that's it. That's how you do the personal property only mailing list. Then we'll copy him into the personal property only PRs only list. So you can take that right off your personal property only mail list. We got and then you've already done all the work, so you just copy it over. But in this case, so we know Ida has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 decedents. So we'll just copy her name down to 5. So this you're going to fill in. But the personal PRs only needs Roy, because he's the only PR. Remember in the last example we did, there were 2 PRs for Jesse Eileen Seberg. They were both administrators, so that's why this person has 2. But usually in the PRs only files, you're gonna only have 1. And if you do happen to get any international heirs, you're gonna put their information here. We're probably not gonna mail them just because it's very expensive. But